Hello everyone! In this EMP tutorial I want to show you how you can fetch data from various sources and bring it into one data stream. That's one really big feature of the query language, is that you can do that very easily. So if you want to have data from, for example, a web API and as well from a database, and you want to merge this data, it's quite easily done with this query language. So let's see what we have here. Let's, for example, get our source random records equals, let's say 3, and we see we have 3 different records here. And now all we have to do is just we use another source, and let's say this time we want to have of type tickets, and you see we have our first records here and the other 3 down here, and everything is in one big data stream. So we can now work on these records as we normally do. For example, let's say we want to have the title renamed, so we can go, let's say, rename title to name, and we also can say, let's say, first name to name, and because we renamed it, it should be at the back of our table, exactly. So you see we have now the same data, the data from 2 different sources in the same column, so we could filter or merge it as we need it. This doesn't only work with source random, you can basically use any source that you want. Let's say source app.db, and this is just query equals, let's take here a select first name from CFE user. So we should now have another column with first name and all the users in this database. Oh, here we have one user that has actually a name. And we can say, let's as name, then this one would also be in the same column here, exactly. So as you see, you can merge these kind of sources in one data stream quite easily. Now, another thing that you can do is you can actually work with multiple queries at the same time. So with the semicolon, you basically terminate one query and you start a new query. So when we execute that, we get one table with the first result here, and the second table with another result here. Now you have various commands that you can use to work with multiple results of these query executions. Most of these should start with result, exactly. So you have result compare, result concat, copy, result join, and result remove. So this is another way how you can work with different sources and merge things together as you need it. Let's take the result compare, and because I don't want to write everything now, I just go and copy one of the examples. Good. Let's take this one. So we make some random records and make some statistics by first name, and then we terminate the query here, and then we use the mimic command, and the mimic command, as we use it here, it just copies what this command did before here. Like it just executes all these commands again, and therefore it gets different random records with different statistics. Let me show you how these statistics look. So we have 51 statistics by first name, and we just have a count and a value. Now we copy the whole thing. So down here we have again statistics, which are a little bit different. So here Heracles is at the top, and here we have Juno. It's not sorted, but anyway. So let's see, now we can use the result compare. This one just takes the two previous results and compares them by first name, and it will just take any other column and tries to compare it. And this is how this looks like. So we compare by first name, and we compare the count from one result to the other result, and this is the difference in percentage, and so on. So that's one example of result. Now this one should actually be able to let me see, by field names, result name, array names of the result that should be compared. Exactly, so we should be able to name the results that we have. Here is an example. So with the metadata, or the meta command, we can give every query its own name, and then we can reference it by this specific name. So in this case, we have this query here, and we want to compare the current results that we have here with the results from query 1. And that's what we get here. Now, let me show you. Let's make another result. Source random equal records equals 12. So normally this one would take the two previous ones, but now it just takes this one plus the first one and totally ignores this one. So this is the first result that we have here, and then we have the comparison down here. Good. Now let me see. Result copy. So we can copy existing results. That can be useful if you want to have different displaying the same data differently and just fetch it once to save time. So as you see, if the globals, we have this multi-display variable where we can say how many columns that we want to have. So if I put this to 1, the data is displayed like this. If I set this to 2, I have 2 columns here. If I set it to 3, I have 3 columns. So I can copy another one, copy 2. Actually, I don't really need the name here because I don't use the name. So properties, and you see I get another display with the same data that I have here. Good. Let's see, result, what else do we have? You can concatenate results. example, like this. So you have 1 record, 2 record, 3 record, and, oh, excuse me, 4 records. And this one will just basically combine all of them into one result. If you don't do this one, you will just have 3 different results. Result. Join is also very interesting. This one allows you to do kind of SQL joins, like left join, right join, inner join, and let's just take one here. And this gets quite interesting when you have, for example, 2 different sources, like 2 different databases. Normally, if you would do it in code, you have to fetch the data from here, you would have to fetch the data from the other database or maybe an API query, and then you would have to write code to take this data, bring it in the right format, and then move this data together. With this one, you basically can do that with one single query language. So what I do here is I just create random data. I have another query also creating random data, except that here I filter for every second index, and then I do join these results on index, and I do a left join. So, and you see that I basically, in the first result, index 0 first name is Victoria and last name is Lindbergh. And the other ones are, like every second one is here undefined because it's filtered out. Yeah, and you see here I take the first name, and in the other one I take the last name. So that can be interesting. So that's basically what we are doing. So we match the first name and the last name based on index and have one table instead of 2. Good. Let's see what else do we have of result. Yeah, result remove. That's when you have kind of results that you don't need anymore. I think I have an example in the percentiles for this one. That is kind of interesting. Exactly, so what I do here, maybe at some point I will create another command that will make this percentile stuff a little bit easier to do. But what I'm doing here is I'm getting some data, and this data I copy here every time into new queries and just create some percentile statistics. And at the end, what I do is I merge all these results together, and then I remove the first data that I have. If I don't do that, this specific data will still be there. So this one creates a chart, and if I keep the results and do not remove it, then I will first have this table here with all the results and the chart afterwards here. So I just remove this result after I have everything that I need, and I just get my data displayed as I need it. Good. Yeah, I think that gives you quite a good idea of what you can do. And we did this one, copy we did, join, result remove. Yeah, so basically that's it. I hope you can do something with what I told you today, and yeah, I wish you a lot of fun moving your data around and merge it and compare it and whatever.